the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
6:07 on the Get Up and Go show. It's the TGIF edition. And Bonnie, we have made it. Well, we've almost made it. Or kind of in the, I remember a song that went, looks like we've made it. Remember that one?
Yeah, we left each other all the way to another love. Wasn't that
Who did that song?
Barry Manilow.
Looks like we made it. Yeah, Barry Manilow.
He had some good songs, didn't he?
I remember seeing him in concert down in Fort Lauderdale at the Sunrise Music Theater. He wore all white.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in white too. I never saw him in concert, but every time I've seen him make his TV appearances, I remember that big fluffy head of hair of Barry's and the white he would wear. And I just think some of my favorites by him would be Mandy.
Yeah.
And Weekend in New England is always a beautiful favorite.
Yeah. Now, this is something cool I've never seen. We're streaming on Facebook, and I'm watching my feed here on my iPad, and there's closed captioning, Bonnie. I've never seen this before.
Is that something new?
But they're missing the words.
Facebook added?
I don't know.
Maybe it's yet to come. Or maybe the closed captioning is not really what you're seeing and you think you're seeing it.
No, I don't know how they're picking this up.
Let's just hope that people can't get in there and type in the words that we say and put words into our mouths or anything like that.
Because the words are not matching what I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
So I need to fix that.
That's kind of a scary thing. We could have like Phil or George, especially George up in Kentucky, putting in words in our mouth.
Yeah, that's just not good. I don't like that because it's really strange.
Yeah.
That's doing that.
I get like that when I'm on Facebook and my cat likes to just jump and lay on my keyboard and he steps on my keyboard with his little paws. I'm always afraid he's going to type in something strange on my Facebook, like if I'm on there and somehow hit the enter button.
Yeah, I just stopped the live feed just because I don't like that because it's putting things that are there that are not coming out of my mouth, so to speak. So it's putting the wrong words. So I'm gonna reinitiate the feed and hopefully it's going to rectify itself. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let you. Can you cover for like 30 seconds?
Oh yeah.
And maybe talk a little bit about you're logged into the complete sheet, right?
I am.
Okay, so pick a story and talk about it. Give me 30 seconds if that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
This is live radio, Bonnie.
Ahead.
This is what we do.
And, this is nothing that I've never done, but I guess people around the world are now dressing up in formal clothes or ridiculous costumes just to take out the trash in the morning. And I don't know about you, Evan, but I haven't seen any of this going on in our street. And, I don't know if I would put on a formal gown just to go and take out the trash. I really don't feel like I've jumped to the level where I'm that bored yet.
I've seen that. I saw that story, and there was a video of this lady that wore this red sequin dress that took out her. I was like, wow, that was weird.
It's a red, shiny dress, and, she is rather beautiful in it. She's wearing it. It curves her natural curves quite well, and she's wearing a pair of black, formal, high-heeled shoes with that dress. And I can't tell if she's wearing nylon, like the white nylon stockings or not, or if her legs are just that white, like whiter than white, kind of like a pasty white. But yeah, and I haven't seen neighbors doing it either, taking out the trash in costume or some great attire. And if you like Busch Beer is holding a contest to give free beer for life.
What? You're kidding.
To couples whose weddings were postponed by the pandemic. Wait, now I'm reading here. One promotion says for life and one promotion does say for a year. So I would gather the most affordable thing that Busch could do is, just give that beer away for a year. And they said in a tweet from Busch Beer, your wedding plans may be on ice for the time being, but we want to give you a wedding gift of ice cold Busch for a year.
Wow, that's a lot of brew.
Yeah.
That's a lot of brewski.
You could you could buy all the beer from Busch during that year, and by year's end or by the time your wedding comes up, you could supply your wedding guests with free Busch beer.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know if that would be the first choice of what I would want to serve at my wedding. I wonder if the younger, no, Gen Z, they're too young to get married, I think. But the millennials in Gen are serving up some of those seltzers now at their weddings.
I've heard about that. I've heard about the seltzers.
Yeah.
And I've heard they're pretty darn good.
That would be like the thing to serve, because particularly for the ladies who like to, put on that tight wedding attire.
Ooh.
And
how do they get into those things? That tight wedding attire.
They just starve themselves and exercise for weeks and weeks on end, and watch what they put in their mouths and stuff.
Man, it's like they jump off a 50-foot building, just to get into their wedding gown.
I know. And does Rachel still have her wedding gown from days past?
No, because actually I can't get rid of these closed captions. That's bothering me.
It reminds me of remember that weatherman that we saw in that viral video, and he's out there, and we did see one where there was a herd of buffaloes coming at him, but there was another weather guy where all of a sudden the on video, all of the, what do you call those emojis started lighting up, and little figures and figurines started dancing above his head. And, I guess if we're seen like that on Facebook and something's going haywire, something like that could happen to us.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely so. There's also a trend that's going on right now with celebrities. A bunch of celebrities have joined the All In Challenge, offering up experiences to us normal people to raise money to feed the elderly, children, and frontline workers. Now, to enter, if you just go to fanatics.com, then you can buy entries to each contest, and just starting at $10 an entry. And the more you give, the more chances you get to win. And those are the sweepstakes, but there's some auctions to be more luxurious offers, and those that are different. Now, one of them is Justin Bieber will come sing One Less Lonely Girl at your house.
That's kind of cool. I mean, to have the Bieber, come to your house. Of course, I would be spending more than the $10 for my entry fee for that. Should I win, I would have to have the best dinner for the Bieb.
What would you make?
I would probably order.
You'd order Uber Eats?
Maybe. No, I think I would probably get it catered, maybe from some fancy restaurant around here that's kind of high end.
Okay.
And then if it was okay with the Bieb and his entourage, if he brought an entourage, I would probably invite. I'd have to invite my stepdaughter, because she's in that tender age where they have enjoyed the Bieb, and maybe a few of her friends, and possibly a couple of my girlfriends, and we would have to make it kind of like a party, and post coronavirus, of course, if we get there, and which I think we will.
Okay. Now, Jimmy Kimmel also has one on there. The winner will join Kimmel's band, Cleto and the Cletones, on stage and be announced as a musician in the band for one day. How about that one?
Ooh, that would be exciting for a musician, huh? To arrive at that one.
How about this one? You can co-host with Ellen DeGeneres on her show for one whole hour. So you get to sit in the chair next to Ellen.
You would be loving that one,
wouldn't you, Evan? I would have a great time.
I know you've mentioned Ellen here once in a while, and it sounds like you quite enjoy her. I could see you. I could see you co-hosting with her.
I do. How about Kevin Hart? Get a speaking role in Kevin's next movie. That's another thing that's up for grabs.
Oh yeah, I would like to have a speaking role in. I think Leo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro are doing one with a new up and coming movie too that they have, where you can kind of get in this contest, and you will have an appearance or be able to walk on in that movie somewhere.
Yeah. Speaking of walking on, Jamie Foxx, you get a walk on role for his new show, Dad, stop embarrassing me.
Oh, how cool.
That would be cool, huh?
That could be like an outlet for, have you ever dreamed about just going out to California, Evan, and being able to star in your own sitcom?
Oh, that would be so cool.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that would be way cool.
Yeah, a half-hour of comedy sitcom every week starring you.
Yep, definitely so. Jonah Hill, you could spend a day directing a movie and having lunch with Jonah.
Oh, how incredible.
Right? Or how about this one? If we get back to baseball, throw out the first pitch at a World Series game. You and a guest also get tickets to the game as well.
Oh, perfect for people that, have a little boys that love baseball. You could have like your child maybe go out and go do that.
Mark Cuban says that you can sign a one-day contract to join the Dallas Mavericks in a preseason game. Tom Brady attend the Tampa Bay Buccaneers home opener, receive Tom's first game-worn jersey, and join him for either dinner or a workout after the game. Would you
choose the dinner or the workout with Tom Brady?
I would choose dinner.
Would you?
Yeah, I would definitely choose the dinner.
I would choose the workout. And even though I might not be able to keep up with, he is Tom Brady.
Right.
To eat in front of a celebrity, that would make me so nervous.
That wouldn't bother me at all.
It wouldn't?
No, not at all.
I've always felt that way about like a first date too. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't want to, if I'm trying to impress you, I don't want to be sitting across the table from you eating. It just makes me nervous.
No, how about this one, Bonnie? Peyton Manning is offering golf and dinner with Peyton in your hometown. It'll be at a local restaurant and you and up to 10 friends. And the golf outing would just be you, your two guests, and Peyton.
Wow, that would be incredible. I guess I would have to, with the guests, I would have to invite you, being a sports fan. I would have to invite G and Ray Thomas and Mike Thomas, who used to do the morning show here.
Can't forget Greg and Carol. Got to invite, the big bosses.
And the big bosses, and then we would wind it down with Rachel and my Gary.
I was just going to say that. I can't forget the better halves.
I know.
And lastly, Alex Rodriguez. How about a 1-hour private batting lesson? And you'll also get to keep his 2009 World Series replica trophy.
I would be embarrassed to bat in front of Alex Rodriguez.
Really?
Because the last time I played baseball, my batting swing was off. You know how they say when you don't use it, you lose it? I wasn't very good at baseball again the last time I played.
Wow.
But
there's some really cool stuff on this website as I actually clicked it and went through.
Yeah.
You can design and call a play at a Philadelphia Eagles preseason game.
Wow.
Play a game of horse and sit courtside with Lakers great Magic Johnson.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Wow.
I could handle a game of horse now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool. They were going to do there was like a network we had it in a sports story not too long ago. They were going to do was it ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
They were going to do a virtual game of horse.
Wow.
With some NBA greats where they would be playing in their own gym, maybe their own home, their own basketball court, but just a simple game of HORSE. And
this is amazing. You have to check this website out, fanatics.com. There's so much stuff. You can wine and dine with Joe Montana. It just goes on and on and on. And man, I when I get home today, I'm gonna donate some money and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take a shot and see what happens.
I hope you win the hosting job with Ellen.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
That would be cool.
If I won.
I think my number one would be that hangout with Tom Brady and doing a little workout would be my personal.
I could see you doing
choice.
That. I could definitely see the Bonbon doing the Bonbon with Tom Brady at the dinner table. That would be interesting. Very interesting. 621, the TGIF edition of the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. And it's time for news right now. Let's go over to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. And we start out with the morning breakdown of the coronavirus cases by county. For Indian River County, confirmed there are 83 cases now, and number of deaths are at 2. In St. Lucie County, there are 186 confirmed coronavirus cases, 9 deaths for St. Lucie County, and in Martin County, 142 confirmed cases and 4 deaths for Martin County. And after another 54 deaths yesterday, the statewide coronavirus death toll is now at 668. The Department of Health reports more than 23,000 people are infected. And to help Florida's overwhelmed unemployment compensation system, Governor Ron DeSantis is signing an executive order to suspend the need for people to return to the system every 2 weeks to recertify that they don't have a job.
Well, if the system is suffering under too much stress, why would we want people to have to go on and recertify that? We know what the economy is doing right now.
Since the coronavirus started closing businesses around the state, payments have been made to only about 4% of more than 800,000 people who have filed jobless claims. 2 Florida Democrats are selected to be on President Trump's coronavirus economic recovery panel. One of them is Orlando area Representative Stephanie Murphy, and the other is Congressman Ted Deutsch of Boca Raton. On Thursday, President Donald Trump unveiled plans to reopen the country, outlining guidance for state governors on how to open state economies. The phases come in 3 chunks, and Trump said he expects some states could begin phase 1 almost immediately. He says this is possible as the spread of COVID-19 has declined. Here is what phase 1 entails. For schools currently closed should remain closed. Business, those who can telecommute should continue to do so. Companies to reopen in phases. For senior care facilities and hospitals, continue to ban visitors. For travel, all non-essential travel should remain at a minimum. Restaurants, bars, and nightclubs can reopen under strict physical distancing guidelines. And for gyms, they can open under strict physical distancing guidelines, that is. St. Lucie Public Schools will hold virtual graduations in May to honor the class of 2020. School district officials announced on Thursday that graduates wearing caps and gowns can gather online with their family and friends for the ceremonies. The pre-recorded virtual graduations will include valedictorian and salutatorian speeches, digital slides honoring each graduate, and the traditional turn your tassel moment. And here's a little bit of the schedule of the virtual graduations. On Tuesday, May 26th, the virtual graduation will be at 9 a.m. for St. Lucie West Centennial, at 11 a.m. for Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, and at 1 p.m. for Treasure Coast High School. Then on Wednesday, May 27th, Lincoln Park Academy will have their virtual graduation at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. for Fort Pierce Central High School, and for Port St. Lucie High School, 1 p.m. on Wednesday, May 27th. 2 NFL players have the coronavirus. Denver Broncos defensive end Von Miller is expected to speak to the press today about it. And LA Rams center Brian Allen tested positive several weeks ago. Rams coach Sean McVay says Allen is on the road to recovery. News time is 6:25, and weather and traffic together will be next.
$6:26, the time on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We did see a fatality in the early morning hours in Fort Pierce. This morning it was at 25th Street and Oak Avenue, and all the lanes in that area had been shut down early this morning. Here in Martin County, other areas of St. Lucie County, it's looking like a good ride right now. No traffic accidents. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's 73 in Stuart this morning. Here's our forecast for the weekend at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog and a few showers are possible. Temperatures are cooler inland than along the coast. This afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible, and some rainfall could be heavy in spots. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s, mostly cloudy skies, and breezy east-southeasterly winds.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
There was the band again. They miraculously just appeared.
Yeah, they are just so terrific. I'm glad that they were able to join us this week.
Yeah, I like that.
Will they be joining us next week as well, Evan?
I hope so. They're going to be here kind of like on a permanent fixture,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Okay.
So
let's
I hope they're going to be here.
roll out the dough and keep rolling out
Yeah.
more dough and the red carpet for
I
the
just
band.
throw them some donuts, and they just do
Yeah.
their thing.
They come on that donut trail.
Yeah, there's some viral videos. Of course, we talk about those each day on the big show here at this time. Comedian Luke Mones did a video of himself pretending to be that guy you started dating right before the quarantine, and now you're stuck living together. He tries to interest you in a TikTok challenge, is convinced there's a Harry Potter conspiracy, accuses you of stealing his AirPods, shows you his Riverdance moves, and even asks you to float him $12,000.
I think he's trying to appear as that guy to show you that I think he only dated the girl for like 4 days, and it's kind of like a what if. So you only dated someone for 4 or 5 days and he moves in with you, and now he's quarantined and he has to stay with you.
Yeah.
He shows his crazy ways. It's the psycho boyfriend from
Could you do that? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Hold it. Hold it. What did you just do?
I tried to do the song from Psycho when Bates comes in the shower and the ladies in the shower and the music.
Really?
I don't do a very good job of it. But
That was
That was bad.
You talk about that sound?
Yeah.
You just tried to do that sound.
I did.
You just made my Friday by trying to do that. Honestly. That was great.
Thanks.
That was great. You just made my whole weekend.
Oh, I wish I could do a better job. I'm not really good at making those music sounds and
Wow.
changing the voice, but
What other I won't even ask what other sound effects you can do. I can only imagine.
but this is like a psycho boyfriend. It looks like I saw the video on it, Evan, and it looks like he opens a can of her tuna.
Can I play the audio?
Okay, yeah, play it.
All
Play
right,
it.
here
It's
we
good.
go. All
It's
right.
good.
I hang my beads, do you? When can I meet your friends from high school, even if it's over FaceTime? I said, Luke, you can't be an RA for 11 years. I said, watch me. TikTok challenge, come on. I don't believe the Harry Potter books were written for the movies. I think that's a conspiracy. Libra.
Sagittarius.
Classic Sag response. You never really beat athlete's foot. You smile for me. I'm using that app that shows you what our baby would look like. So this is what it feels like to get past the first date.
There you go.
and at one point, he was even eating tuna right out of a can.
Wow.
And, just like a somebody that you wanted to be your boyfriend, you weren't sure. He had to move in. He had to stay with you, and then he's just like boyfriend from outer space. Even saying there are Harry Potter theorists.
Yeah. Definitely so.
Insane.
Now, this next viral video, I know you're going to enjoy. It's a guy in LA who ordered Chick-fil-A on I guess a delivery app called Postmates, and it was delivered by a robot. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Delivered by a robot.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, the robot went haywire after it arrived and took off down the sidewalk. He chased the robot for 25 minutes before finally giving up.
Oh, wow.
All right. Here's the audio.
Bro, I've been following my Postmates robot for like 15 minutes. Stop. This is my food. Bro, this won't stop.
Right? It just won't stop.
He should have had to chase the robot maybe after he ate the sandwich to work off the calories.
I mean, I guess the robot malfunctioned is what happened.
Wow. Can you imagine we're getting into that day and age where your food being delivered by a robot?
Yeah.
We're not really seeing it around here yet, seriously, but wasn't that one in like LA where they're probably spotted now from time to time?
I don't know.
That's really strange. If I had a robot, I think I would want that little robot named BB-8 from Star Wars.
BB-8.
BB-8 was the new one that they had in when all the hoopla came out about the new Star Wars movie.
Okay.
And it's a little cute white robot that lights up. It kind of glides around real nicely and real friendly. Its name is BB-8. And he actually reminds me of my kitty, Jack Frosty, because Jack Frosty is all white and big and fluffy. And Jack Frosty has this way, the way he moves, he kind of just glides around all friendly like that.
All right.
I know that's weird.
I was
I'm weird this morning.
No, that's okay. We're all weird. I'm in a weird mood too, so don't feel bad. I'm right with you.
All right.
Okay, I'm just weirding out right now because our live feed all of a sudden has like closed captioning, and I'm watching it as it goes, and it's not even getting our words correctly. So it's putting words there that we aren't even saying.
That's scary.
It's weird.
Was somebody able to hack
No,
into that?
it's a new feature, I guess, that Facebook is offering for the hearing impaired.
Oh, wow.
I have to figure out how to turn off the closed captioning.
I mean,
and I think it's over here on this machine because this is where it originates from.
I'm glad that they're doing it because I want to be a friendly user for the hearing impaired. However, maybe we shouldn't have it on until we know what what we're doing with it. And how those words that were, I'm going to have to look back at this video later and look at all the words that were supposedly coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And I just hope, and FCC ruling,
No, we should be all right.
we can't have nasty words
No,
flowing.
those words won't be coming out there. That's for sure. Hey, so I was scouring the internet yesterday, Bonnie, and I found a website that has like the top dad jokes that dads
Oh, did
ask.
you? Yeah.
So I want to run through them. Now you may laugh and
Okay.
you may not laugh. You may find these corny.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the joke,
Okay.
and then I'll give you the punchline.
All right.
And I'm hoping you'll maybe laugh
Okay.
or
I'm
humble
sure.
me at least
Okay.
or something. Okay. All right. So what concert? Maybe I should call the fire station and ask them the jokes
I bet
like we did yesterday.
I wonder if they would mind that. There are plenty of dads, I bet, working at the fire station
hold on.
who could really relate to this right now. And hopefully they're not having to put out any fires this morning and they're hanging out and, maybe they could use like a good laugh. That might be some stress relief for them, Evan. I'm wondering.
Possibly.
Or what about our friend?
Okay, I'm going to call the fire station.
Okay.
This is great.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is going to be great. Guy's going to think we're picking on them.
I think the name was Juvie. Juvie was his last name.
I don't remember. Let's find out. You have a good memory.
Martin County Fire Rescue Station 22, firefighter Holsinger.
Hey, firefighter Holsinger. This is Evan and Bonnie with the WSTU Get Up and Go morning show. How are you?
Going well. How about yourself?
Hey, hanging in there. You're live on the radio with us, so just wanted to let you know not to say any cuss words or nothing like that. I got a question for you. We talked to, I think it was your captain or your chief yesterday in the morning.
Okay. And what did you discuss with him?
Oh, there you are. How you doing this morning?
Good. Which captain? We have two of them here.
Oh, wow. I don't remember which one it was. Bonnie, do you remember?
I think the last name was Juvie.
Oh, Juver. Captain
Juver.
Juver. Yeah, he went home.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
That's okay. What can I help you all with?
Well, I wanted to see, this is live radio, and we're just kind of, we kind of made your guys' day yesterday by calling and putting some smiles on faces, and we wanted to do that again this morning. I thought it'd be kind of fun, and I wanted to get your take on these things that are called dad jokes, if you have a few moments for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you give me a second to grab a few of the other guys? I'll throw you on speaker so you can tell them to a few of us.
That'd be great, man. Why don't you do that? That'd be fantastic.
Okay, give me a second.
All right. Wow, this is great, Bonnie. I love it.
It's like a party.
We can entertain the fire department.
With the firemen, yeah.
Right? We get to bring a little smiles to the fire department.
I know. Too bad they don't have a friendly little Dalmatian with them this morning.
Well, yeah, that would be also fun and pretty cool.
But we heard yesterday that some of the Dalmatians can't really hear the jokes because many are deaf, and that's why they've been on the fire trucks with the sirens.
I'm going to forewarn you, these jokes are bad. These are bad dad jokes.
Uh-oh.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
They're bad dad jokes.
Maybe we can just still put a smile on their faces.
Yeah, exactly. These are really bad dad jokes.
They don't want to hear them.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't want to hear them?
Oh, they don't want to hear them?
No. I mean, you don't want to hear my jokes.
Oh, no. But these are bad dad jokes is what there's a list of them. So I'm going to ask you the bad dad joke, and I want to see if you guys maybe can give us an answer, okay?
Are they still there? Oh, I think they hung up by accident.
Oh, they may have hung up the phone by accident.
By accident.
Okay.
Yeah, accident only.
All right. I think that was an accident.
Or maybe they heard
the line disconnected.
Like a
Hopefully
fire
they'll call back.
Yeah, and maybe we should allow them to call us.
Yeah, we'll wait for them to call us back. Yeah. So anyway, here. All right. So I'm going to go on with the bad dad jokes.
All
okay.
Right.
What concert cost just 45 cents? What concert cost 45 cents?
45 cents. I don't know, Evan.
It's 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. Was that okay? Was that a good one?
Yeah, because 45 cents. Nickelback's the kind of band, I can listen to one or two songs, but I can't handle the whole album.
Okay.
More than 2 songs by Nickelback is just too much. Did you ever get that feeling?
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like them enough, but just a couple of songs is good.
All right, here goes your next one. You ready? Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his own field. These are bad dad jokes.
I love that one.
Do you really?
I want to write that down. I want to remember that one for the kids.
Okay, all right. Here's another one. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon?
I haven't heard about it.
Great food, but no atmosphere. Okay.
I like it.
All right. Wow, you're actually laughing at bad dad jokes.
They're good, though.
Okay. All right. Here's another one. Ready? Why do melons have weddings? Why do melons have weddings?
Weddings, because they're seedless. No, something with the seeds. I don't know.
Because they can't elope.
Okay.
Okay.
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe. All right. What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle?
I haven't a clue.
A tire. A tire.
A tire.
A tire.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That should have been a no-brainer
Okay.
right there for me.
Here's another one. How many apples grow on a tree?
We better call up Johnny Appleseed and ask.
Okay. All right. How many apples grow on a tree?
A bushel, something with a bushel.
All of them.
Oh. I suppose so. And
All of them.
do all of the oranges grow in the orange groves as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
that
many
could work
how
well
many
with-
oranges grow on a tree? All of them.
How many oranges grow on an apple tree?
You could ask that. You can go on and on with that. How
Yeah.
many leaves grow on a tree? All of them.
Yep.
All right. Did you hear the rumor about butter?
No.
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
Hello.
The one I think I liked the one about the scarecrow the most.
Outstanding in the field.
He's outstanding in his
I have
field.
3 more for you. So one of these 3 might just beat the scarecrow.
Okay.
How does a penguin build its house?
With its little flappers, his flapper wings.
No.
I don't know.
You ready? It glues it together.
Oh.
It glues. It glues it together.
It glues it.
It
Yep.
glues it. Okay.
Yep.
Why don't skeletons ever go trick or treating?
Because they stay in their closet.
You could take that one, but they have no body to go with. Get it?
Yeah.
No body to go with.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the last one. Why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer?
Because he couldn't.
You're so there. You just said part of the answer.
Oh, he couldn't physically do the job.
Oh, you're so close. Think about
it's
it.
like a riddle.
Why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer?
Because he couldn't be seen doing the job.
Yes, you got it right.
did?
He couldn't see himself doing it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Oh.
You got that one.
Imagine I'm finally catching on to some of these. Those were good, Evan.
We are getting silly on a Friday morning on the Get Up and Go show.
Hey, but it's good, clean humor.
It is.
You know, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, 6:45 this morning. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie has the not so humorous news this morning on a Friday. Take it away, Bonnie.
And we're going to break down the cases at a glance for coronavirus by counties. The number confirmed in Martin County are at 142 with 4 deaths. Number of confirmed cases in St. Lucie County are at 186 with 9 deaths. And for Indian River County, there are 83 cases confirmed. Number of deaths are 2 in Indian River County. After another 54 deaths statewide yesterday, the coronavirus death toll is now at 668. The Department of Health reports more than 23,000 people infected in the state of Florida. And to help Florida's overwhelmed unemployment compensation system, Governor Ron DeSantis is signing an executive order to suspend the need for people to return to the system every 2 weeks to recertify that they don't have a job.
Well, if the system is suffering under too much stress, why would we want people to have to go on and recertify that? We know what the economy is doing right now.
Since the coronavirus started closing businesses around the state, payments have been made to only about 4% of the more than 800,000 people who have filed jobless claims. 2 Florida Democrats are selected to be on President Trump's coronavirus economic recovery panel. One of them is Orlando area Representative Stephanie Murphy, and the other is Congressman Ted Deutsch of Boca Raton. A new report doesn't give an official cause, but has a lot to say about the 2017 plane crash in the Gulf that killed a Hall of Fame pitcher.
The NTSB's report says Roy Halladay's autopsy showed a laundry list of drugs, including high levels of amphetamines and opioids. It says Halladay was doing high climbs and steep turns before his speed fell and his plane nosedived off Holiday in November 2017. The report says he posted on social media about flying under the Skyway Bridge, saying his Icon A5 aircraft flew like a fighter jet. I'm Gordon Bird.
And lastly, toxic blue-green algae has been reported at Port Mayaca in western Martin County along Lake Okeechobee. Our news partner, WPTV, spotted the algae Thursday near the C-44 canal in Martin County. Mike Connor, the Indian River keeper, first reported the algae. He says, quote, "I saw the photos that were taken, aerial photos by a resident in Martin County who does flyovers, and I wanted to see for myself, so I went out to the Mayaca recreation area," said Connor. When Connor arrived, he quickly saw the algae along the shore. Sure enough, it was pretty choked in there, pretty good with the cyanobacteria bloom. The lakeshore had a little bit too, but the holding area there had a pretty dense bloom. So I made a report to DEP algae dashboard. They went out about 4 days later and found it was toxic, said Connor. The toxicity level was 36 parts per billion of microcystins in the sample taken from Lake Okeechobee at Port Mayaca on April 6. Anything more than 8 parts per billion is considered too toxic to even touch. We've been without sports for a month now, and some fanatics are losing their minds, which isn't great, since, there's no clear return in sight. So someone sent out a tweet asking for the very specific things people miss the most about sports, and the most specific, the better. And number one on the list had been, they're missing defensive backs celebrating after a quarterback overthrows a wide open man. News time is 6:49, and weather and traffic together are next.
$6:50 the time on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And Evan, everything is quiet here on the roads on a Friday morning, so traffic just moving quite smoothly on US 1. If you're heading out, the major highways too are clear. There's your latest look at traffic. In Port St. Lucie, cloudy sky, 71, cloudy here in Stuart, 73. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog and a few showers are possible. Temperatures are cooler inland than along the coast. This afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible, and some rainfall could be heavy in spots. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s, mostly cloudy skies and breezy east-southeasterly winds.
Mornings are better with the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on WSTU.
6:55 on the Get Up and Go Show. And Bonnie, we're coming up on the news here, top of the hour. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, Sheriff Ken Mascara is going to be here from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. We have never talked to him on the Get Up and Go Show. We always talk to Sheriff Snyder to talk about things going on in Martin County. So I thought it would be interesting to have the sheriff on from St. Lucie County to kind of get a state of the county address from him.
Yeah, I can hardly wait to hear from him, Evan. And so that, we can kind of like get a briefing, get a feeling and the updates too of what's happening in St. Lucie County.
Yeah, because our radio show does extend into St. Lucie County, even up to Indian River County at times.
Yeah, I'm sure that he will have some very important news to share.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I saw the sheriff, remember before that I mentioned that it's embarrassing for me to eat in front of other people?
Right.
Well, the last time I saw Sheriff Ken Mascara, we had been at the St. Lucie County Fair together.
Okay.
All of us sampling all of the food at the fair.
You and the sheriff together?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
And judging it. And we must have sampled every single thing there was to eat at the fair.
That's
and
an awful lot.
Gave our judgment on it with the sheriff. And we even drank the beverages too, like the smoothies and whatnot.
Okay.
And the shakes that they serve at the fair.
Okay.
And by the end of the night, Evan, I was so full. And there were only 2 of us ladies at the table partaking in it. And I don't know if this was a compliment or if I should consider it. I don't know if it was bad or good, because the sheriff said, well, you ladies you're actually doing pretty good there. You're really keeping up.
Wow.
So,
we'll have to talk to him about that.
Well,
when he gets on the air, see if he remembers that.
That was a while ago.
He
but,
might remember, though. He's got a really good memory because he remembers exactly who I am.
Oh, he's sharp.
Yeah.
He must see you every now and then at the games out at the stadium.
He does. I run into him at the stadium events. I ran into him at the event I did for Tim Tebow's Night to Shine at the Fenn Center.
Yeah.
Recently, that was the last time that I saw him there.
Oh, not too long ago you then.
Just a couple months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great event.
So, yeah, I can't wait to hear his briefing. And, hopefully we're going to hear some positive news coming out of St. Lucie County.
Definitely so. Bonnie, did you know that 33% of people floss their teeth before they take a photo?
Oh, wow.
Think
Really?
about that.
33% of people are, but when somebody breaks out the camera, how many people are going to have the floss?
Well,
right, what do they pull it out of their pocket?
I guess a lot of people carry floss in their pockets
wow,
these days.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, did you know about 1/3 of American homes have a welcome mat? 1/3. Do you have a welcome mat at your home? I have 2.
We have a mat, but this one, I step on that thing every day, Evan, and how unobservant. I can't remember if it says welcome on it or not.
Well, you know what? When you go home today, look down.
Take a look.
And let me know Monday.
Okay.
Report back.
Well, all righty then.
I want the news. All right. Did you know that a study shows the average woman will go on a diet about 16 times over the course of her entire lifetime?
That's
very
believable.
Okay.
Very believable.
Did you know that over 95% of people in a recent survey said that they had dandruff at one point or another? And did you also know that the average woman, and I'm not picking on women, don't get me wrong, I'm just reading what I copied off of my morning sheets.
We understand.
Did you know that the average woman complains about men twice a day? Seems like more. And did you know that women are 3 times more likely to wear a seatbelt in a car than a man?
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting statistic right there.
Very interesting. Also, did you know that in a survey, 1/3 of us say smelling good is a sign that you have your entire life together?
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Here comes the news. It's 7 a.m.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
7:07 on the Get Up and Go Show. 1 hour down, 2 more to go. We're 2 hours closer to officially starting our weekend, Bonnie.
Yeah, and, it's actually been a really short work week for me here since, well, you had a full week here, but I was off, of course, for what people call Easter Monday, and still celebrating Easter after Sunday.
Really?
And, I wonder how much more of this we're going to do until things really get back to normal, because I think the latest I heard, the opening of situations are being more confirmed to go up through like May 15th now. I don't know if that is 100% true or not, but I remember the president said the nation was supposed to reopen on April 12th or the 13th, which was, the Easter Sunday and Monday period. And now we might go all out till May 15.
Oh, hold on.
Maybe.
Excuse you, band. Can you turn the music down a little bit? You're overriding Bonnie. There we go. All right, very good.
I know it might have sounded like I was shouting over the band. No, you're fine.
I had to turn the band down a little bit. They enjoy playing for us,
Yeah.
People can't see them on camera, but they're in the other room. Because of social distancing, we keep them in a separate room that's quarantined.
Mm-hmm. They have their own green room, you might say.
The green room, as they call it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
News on the radio. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day, Bonnie. Do you have anybody?
I don't have anybody to wish a happy birthday to you today, Evan. No.
That's a first. Wow.
Yeah,
are you feeling all right?
Yeah, but what can you do? What can you say?
Okay.
I'm just sad to say that we lost Brian Dennehy, however. Brian Dennehy, the actor that's been in some kind of like 200 movie, TV, and character roles, died at the age of 81.
Oh, wow.
So he had been in Tommy Boy, 1980s Legal Eagles with Bo Derek and 10, First Blood, Gladiator. Just so many roles that he had with movies and TV.
Mm-hmm.
And just sad to say we lost that very talented actor.
Rooney Mara, 35 years old. She was the girl with the dragon tattoo. Remember her?
Yeah, the girl with the dragon tattoo. That was a movie that was about 5 years ago. I think those dragon movies came out.
Yep.
Yep.
Luke Mitchell, 35 years old. That's Jane's brother Roman on Blind Spot.
Okay.
Victoria Beckham, 46 years old today. You know who that is, don't you?
Posh, right?
That's right, Posh Spice.
Posh Spice.
Yep.
And she's married to the soccer player, David Beckham.
David Beckham.
Right.
Yep.
And she's 42?
46.
46?
46.
She's pretty. She sports that short hairdo like she does, and she's a pretty woman.
It's kind of sexy looking.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer Garner, 48 years old today.
And Ben Affleck's ex-wife,
Yeah.
that would be 48. She's another pretty one.
Yep. Redman, 50 years old today. That's the dazzling urbanite who loves reefer cigarettes.
Oh, does he?
Marijuana cigarettes. Redman. Guy's always stoned all the time, 24/7.
How old is he?
He always does wake and bake.
Oh, does
they
he
call that wake and bake.
hang out with Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg?
Yeah,
and
probably
Martha
all those
Stewart.
All those Martha Stewart.
All those stoners.
I know, right? All the stoners out there. They're probably all born on April 20th.
Yeah,
Right? 420.
I can't wait till we get to the birthdays on the 20th. That's going to be on Monday.
I hate to say it. My son's birthday is on Monday.
We'll be
But
covering
he's
those.
not a stoner, that's for sure.
Right.
Better not be.
Aren't you glad?
Yeah. He won't be coming out of quarantine anytime soon, that's for sure. Adam McKay, 52 years old today. He directed and co-wrote the Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, and the other guys with Will Ferrell.
Oh, right. And how old is he?
52.
52. And he wrote all of those?
Yeah, he wrote all those.
Step Brothers.
Yep, he wrote Step Brothers also. Let's take a phone call right now. Hi, you're on the air with the Get Up and Go show. Who's this?
Hello, this is Frank. I got my check yesterday.
Wow, I'm glad it made it to you. I wrote it out personally.
You know, on the back of my check, though, from Donald Trump, it has his picture.
Does it really?
Fascinating.
I have a question.
Sure.
The checks are for what? $1,200?
Yeah, they should be. It's $1,200 per person,
Okay.
and then if you have a dependent child under the age of
500.
17, right? Exactly.
Okay, so a guy and his wife get $2,400.
Okay.
What's the average rent in this 2-county area? And if you have a car payment, how far will that go?
Well, Frank, the average rent, depending on if you're in a one bed, are you guys in a condo?
No, I own a home.
Okay, so the average rent, I would say, for a 2-bedroom, the average rent for a 2-bedroom is probably about $1,600. I would say somewhere in that area, and then you have a car payment. If you have a car payment, so you're looking at about $2,000.
2,000.
Yeah. From what I've been seeing with real estate around town, the rents, I think Evan's right on target there. The rents have gotten pretty high here.
Yeah, so a person, they're done.
It's,
I feel bad for them. I mean, come on.
Yeah, how does a person even make it? Some people are, some people are in better situations than others, and some people with this economy are in some really serious, tough situations.
Yeah, because one of my sons, I gave him a hand, with some of his mortgage payment. But I mean,
yeah,
you're a good dad. You're a good dad. A lot of dads wouldn't do that. You're a good father.
And I feel for the workers maybe that are the single parents too right now, and just trying to cover their rents and their car payments, and particularly the ones where they have the non-essential businesses, that have been shut down now for a while.
Yeah, because my son works with a lot of guys. They have like 7-year car loans. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, Frank, to be honest with
only
you,
has 7 years.
The 7-year car loan is actually very favorable right now. And the reason I say that is because you can get 0% interest on a 7-year car loan. So it's nothing but complete. You're paying for the car on the bank's on the bank's time.
Yeah, but I'd love to know how that 0%, whatever it is, I'd love to know how the banks aren't in business for charity. They're in business to make lots of money, and they are making lots of money.
I guess you can. Some people are trying to call in and work with their mortgage companies on home loans, and to try to work with their car loans to see if they can make those payments later.
Yeah.
But with the mortgages, you got to really check into it and look into it.
I feel bad for people. I mean, a young guy and his wife or whatever.
Yeah.
You could be in their 40s and be laid off from your job.
How are you and your wife faring through all
Fine.
this? We're
fine. Retired, and we
your retirement, which enables you guys to comfortably now.
We don't live
years.
comfortably by any means. We got hammered with the stock market in the last month or so.
Well, yeah, the market.
Hammered.
Yeah, the market is not all that great right now. It's not a good time to be in the stock market.
Yeah.
But it depends on the stocks that you're playing also as well. Depends on your portfolio.
Yeah, we were listening to a football game last night. The Buffalo Bills against the Houston Oilers from 1992.
Oh my!
A playoff game on your station.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. How vintage is that?
Yeah, we fell asleep. Warren Moon was the quarterback.
Uh-huh.
Oh my!
Remember him? But we fell asleep. We don't know who won.
We have been playing old NCAA games too.
Oh yeah,
we had one with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in their heyday, and kind of reliving.
And the short pants they used to wear.
Oh yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember that the short basketball uniforms?
Of course, yeah. I remember Bob Cousy.
Oh my!
Bob Cousy, Bill Russell. Oh, those were great ball players.
Walt Chamberlain.
They were neat.
Yeah. Yesterday I watched a movie I hadn't seen in 50 years or more. Ben-Hur.
Oh my! Wow. That's a classic.
It is, with the chariot race and.
We saw a movie. We were on a Western channel on Easter weekend, and we saw like this wagon train movie.
Oh God!
And it was really cool. It had Kirk Douglas in it, who he just passed at the age of like 103, but he was a young man in it and in Train.
The Flying Nun.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was I used to love watching that show.
Yeah.
The
It would
flying
make
nun.
someone convert to becoming a Catholic nun.
Right?
But there was another thing yesterday. It was sad because I always admired the guy as an actor. Brian Dennehy died.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
One, and
Yes.
I was trying to look up. Do you know if he died of natural
Yes,
causes?
he did. He died at home in Bridgeport, Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut.
Of natural causes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, his family said that.
Yeah.
You can always go back and watch Rambo: First Blood. He's in that.
Yeah, he always played that kind of. It's kind of like you got nervous. Play that kind of snidey, mean kind of role.
He was he was an accomplished Broadway star. I mean, big time.
He had won Emmys
Oh.
for Broadway.
He was
Yeah.
a star. He won a big award for Death of a Salesman.
Death of a Salesman
Yeah,
from
he-
1999, right?
Classic. And the numerous Eugene O'Neill plays that he was in.
Yeah.
The guy was an accomplished actor. He was, not just like that nasty sheriff in.
Oh, he could play some nasty ones, couldn't he? And then there were some maybe softer, fuzzy roles that I think he played. It was like a likable dad.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
it's sad because I always liked him as an actor.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna have to
Okay.
maybe.
Hey, listen, you got to call the show more often. We haven't heard from you in like 2 weeks. And I wondered what happened to Frank and his wife. And we got really worried. We were going to have a welfare check done on you.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I mean, seriously. Even said on the radio, gee, we hope Frank or Frank and his wife calls on the radio, and we got no phone calls. So I'm like, wow, I hope he's all right.
We did not want to become chronic callers.
Oh no, please.
Because there are people who call talk shows who are chronic. They're crazy. I mean, they're away from their attendant at the mental hospital.
And then there are radio shows that keep calling the fire department like we do.
Yeah.
We've been enjoying that.
We call the fire department and try to entertain them, Frank.
Oh, good Lord. Well, we'll
check in once a week with us. Please do. Make it every Friday in the 7:00 hour, right after the news.
Yeah,
this
right.
is going to be your spot to call in every single Friday.
Right before I go out to pick up the eggs that the hen has laid in the barn.
Okay. That's great. I'll take mine over hard, please.
Okay, all right.
With some hash browns and
All right.
a bagel and cream cheese.
Oh, there you go. All right. Run off to the cardiologist after that.
There you go.
All right. Have a great day, folks.
Hey, Frank, take care. God
Always
bless.
a pleasure.
Always
Bye.
a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Eggs and bacon sound good right now.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
All right, let me open up the Uber Eats app.
Maybe we should.
Should I order Uber Eats this morning?
I don't know if I have any cash on me, Evan.
That's
I
all
would
right.
like to give you cash
Don't
if
worry
you're
about
gonna.
it. You could just
do
Venmo
that.
me or Cash App me or PayPal me or whatever,
Mm.
I mean, I could order us a smorgasbord.
I might get a. I'm craving one of those empanadas.
I don't know if they have empanadas this early in the morning. I
know a place on the way home that does have them.
Okay, I'm sure you do. You got all those places scoped out.
I do.
That's right. When you need good food, just turn to Bonnie. She knows all the good places. 7:20 news time right now. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. After another 54 deaths yesterday, the statewide coronavirus death toll is now at 668. The Department of Health reports more than 23,000 people are infected. We take a look at the coronavirus cases throughout our counties. Right here in Martin County, there are 142 of them, and the number of deaths are 4. In St. Lucie County, confirmed coronavirus cases are at 186 with 9 deaths. And in Indian River County, 83 cases confirmed and 2 deaths are reported. To help Florida's overwhelmed unemployment compensation system, Governor Ron DeSantis is signing an executive order to suspend the need for people to return to the system every 2 weeks to recertify that they don't have a job.
If the system is suffering under too much stress, why would we want people to have to go on and recertify that? We know what the economy is doing right now.
Since the coronavirus started closing businesses around the state, payments have been made to only about 4% of more than 800,000 people who have filed jobless claims. 2 Florida Democrats are selected to be on President Trump's coronavirus economic recovery panel. One of them is Orlando area Representative Stephanie Murphy, and the other is Congressman Ted Deutsch of Boca Raton. A new report doesn't give an official cause, but has a lot to say about the 2017 plane crash in the Gulf that killed a Hall of Fame pitcher.
CSB's report says Roy Halladay's autopsy showed a laundry list of drugs, including high levels of amphetamines and opioids. It says Halladay was doing high climbs and steep turns before his speed fell and his plane nosedived off Holiday in November 2017. The report says he posted on social media about flying under the Skyway Bridge, saying his Icon A5 aircraft flew like a fighter jet. I'm Gordon Bird.
St. Lucie Public Schools will hold virtual graduations in May to honor the class of 2020. School district officials announced on Thursday that graduates wearing caps and gowns can gather online with their family and friends for the ceremonies. The pre-recorded virtual graduations will include valedictorian and salutatorian speeches, digital slides honoring each graduate, and the traditional turn your tassel moment. And a schedule of the virtual graduations to include for Tuesday, May 26th at 9, St. Lucie West Centennial will have theirs. On the same morning, Fort Pierce Westwood Academy will have theirs at 11, and for Treasure Coast High School at 1 p.m. on that day. And then coming up on Wednesday, May 27, here's the rundown. Port St. Lucie High School will have theirs at 1 p.m., Fort Pierce Central High School at 11 in the morning, and Lincoln Park Academy at 9 a.m. Two NFL players have the coronavirus. Denver Broncos defensive end Von Miller, and he's expected to speak to the press about it today. And LA Rams center Brian Allen tested positive several weeks ago. Rams coach Sean McVay says Allen is on the road to recovery. Our news time is 7:24, and weather and traffic together are next.
$7:25, the Get Up and Go show is your time. Time to do traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, if you're heading on I-95 southbound down by Jupiter this morning, I-95 southbound at Indiantown Road, there is a chair in the roadway out in that area. Yeah, a chair is hanging out.
Have a seat.
Use caution. And otherwise, we don't have any major highway accidents or slowdowns to report. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 74 right now, a cloudy sky in Stuart. Here's our weekend forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog and a few showers are possible. Temperatures are cooler inland than along the coast. This afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible, and some rainfall could be heavy in spots. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s, mostly cloudy skies, and breezy east-southeasterly winds.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
7:30 the time, the Get Up and Go Show. And Bonnie, each day around this time, you do realize what we do. You remember, right?
Stupid news
That's
time
right.
here.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
I love when Dr. Phil comes in there and says that. You know, have you ever watched this show and he's actually done that on TV?
Yeah, I've seen him, Dr. Phil.
Pretty brutal.
He does that a number of times, and you know, I would not want to be the person sitting in that right-hand chair
No.
having him saying that to me.
No, he's pretty hardcore.
When he does that to people, I always go, ouch.
Yeah, he puts people in place.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Let's go to Maryland, Taneytown, Maryland, where police are reminding residents to wear pants when they check their mailbox. In a Facebook post recently, police said, please remember to put your pants on before leaving the house to check your mailbox. Police also stated, you know who you are. This is your final warning.
What town is that?
That would be Taneytown, Maryland.
Want to drive through there? We might see some scenery, huh?
Can we, maybe we should call the Taneytown, Maryland Police Department on the phone and ask them if they're still having that problem.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Pants down. We should do
See,
that.
no, pants down. Wait, hold on.
Hands down,
I'm gonna,
pants down.
I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna
my.
Google this. Hold on. See, you got me going.
We'll keep our pants up here, though, right on the show for
Right.
our visual Facebook purposes.
Right.
We don't want to scare any viewers away.
Let's see here if I can get the phone number. Oh, I do have the phone number. Oh boy. Should I call them?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
All right, let's give it a whirl. We're gonna be daring.
Wonder what the population is of Taney.
I don't know.
Taney. How do you spell that? T-A-I-N-Y? Taney? Is that Maryland or Pennsylvania?
That's Maryland.
Maryland.
You've reached the Taneytown Police Department. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911 now.
This is gonna be good.
If you would like to speak to an officer or have one dispatched to your home, please press 1 and your call will be transferred to Maryland.
All right, so here we go. I'm not going to identify what morning show we're from, but I don't want to get in trouble for doing this.
State Police West, Mr. Corporal Mattingly.
Yes, hi. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing well, yourself.
Good. I have a question to ask you. I just want to let you know we're a morning radio show down here in Florida, and we were just reading a news article on the air about your police department, and I wanted to find out if this was true about this incident you guys are having where you're reminding people to wear pants when they go to their mailbox. Is that true?
That has nothing to do with the Maryland State Police, sir.
No, it doesn't. Oh, so this is not Taneytown, Maryland.
No, this is the Maryland State Police.
Oh, okay. I apologize. All right. I thought that was Taneytown, Maryland.
Look
That's
out.
what it said.
You spelled you got
No, look, see
contacted the
Taneytown,
state.
Taneytown Police Department right there.
Let me see how you spell that one.
T-A-N-Y.
I thought he said like Turney
No,
Town.
Taneytown. See, it's right there.
Oh, Turrytown.
Yeah.
T-U-R-E-Y. Turrytown.
No, Taney. T-A-N-E-Y.
Okay.
Taneytown Police
Yeah,
Department.
where they have a little teeny tiny bit of a problem.
Yeah.
With
just a small smidge of a problem. All right, hold on. I'm going to try one more. Hold
Okay.
on. I'm going to try one more time. I'm just really pushing the gun this morning.
I know. I would say
it's a
you
Friday.
are. Yeah. Just think you're going to have to go home and sleep on it then all
I know.
weekend.
Tell me
and
about
have
it.
to
You've
return.
reached the Taneytown Police Department. If
Okay.
this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911
All right.
now.
That sounds like the
If
same
you'd like
number.
to speak to an officer or have one dispatched to your
Yeah,
home,
that's funny because you know what? I think their phone forwards to the state.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Plus, they're all busy. They're out arresting a number of people.
Yeah,
not-
that don't have their pants on.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're keeping them busy.
Well, we
in
tried to call them.
Town.
I hope Frank is listening to that one.
I know.
He's probably laughing with his wife right about now.
He's probably looking out the window to see if any of his neighbors are doing it outside.
Yeah, going to their mailbox pantsless. All right. So in Australia, an Australian who repeatedly sneaked out of coronavirus quarantine, reportedly to visit his girlfriend, was jailed for a month this past Wednesday. The first person imprisoned under the country's lockdown law. Jonathan David, 35, was arrested earlier this month after jamming open a fire escape and slipping out of a mandatory quarantine at a Perth hotel in Western Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's why. So in Perth, Australia, their quarantine is mandatory there. Yeah. That's where what's his name is from. Do I want to say not Joker, but he played the Joker in The Dark Knight.
I know who you're
Heath.
talking about. I can't think of his name.
Heath Ledger.
Yes,
was
Heath Ledger. Yes.
born and raised there.
Yes, definitely. All right, so here's something interesting, Bonnie. It's kind of humorous, but it is stupid, though. Everybody's looking for something to kill time, right?
Yeah.
So there's a website that's just the DVD logo bouncing around the screen. Literally. So all it does, go to this website.
Oh man, that's gonna make me dizzy or something.
BouncingDVDlogo.com.
Okay.
BouncingDVDlogo.com.
So people are actually going there to like
People go there because you know how on your DVD at home, your DVD player, the screensaver, it has the bouncing DVD that goes all over.
Sure, I've seen it.
So type in BouncingDVDlogo.com.
It annoys me though.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah. Why would I want to go and watch that
This is what people are doing to kill time. That's stupid.
Well, why don't they go for a walk around the block and enjoy nature? What's wrong with people?
But folks, if you have nothing better to do,
I mean, really,
with your life right now, and you're completely really bored out of your gore, go to BouncingDVDlogo.com and you'll be entertained for hours on end.
That's taking technology and insanity to a whole new level for me. I mean, that's just nuts.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. There's a 23-year-old woman named Ashley Stupi, in St. Petersburg, Florida, and she's been locking down with her 24-year-old girlfriend. Well, this past Tuesday afternoon, they started arguing about TikTok videos.
Oh, really?
Yes, TikTok videos. It's not clear exactly what TikTok videos caused the argument, but anyway, Ashley wound up slapping her girlfriend, and she was arrested for domestic battery all over a stupid TikTok video.
Yeah, I could see a partner getting mad, like it depends what you're putting on there and the messages you're sending out there. And have you ever gotten in just a little disagreement with anybody in your household?
I don't play that game.
Yeah.
I don't need to play that game, especially in the times that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I definitely don't need to play that game.
And that is good. It sounds like you keep it together, the household organized.
Yes. Ahmad Zahater, Manhattan man, was arrested for threatening to blow up Central Park's Alice in Wonderland statue with a pipe bomb, according to the police and sources. The would-be bomber, Kevin Fallon, 30 years old, went down the rabbit hole April 9th when he allegedly sent a text to friends and family announcing his intention to blow up the 1959 bronze statue depicting the Lewis Carroll Tales famously fraught Tea Party, court documents showed. And on Saturday, he allegedly sent loved ones, including an ex-girlfriend and his father, photos of a pipe bomb and rifle ammunition, along with a chilling threat to look both ways before you cross the street.
What does he have against that? Those statuettes?
Don't know.
What in the world? I wonder. That must be amazing to see the way you described it, like Alice in Wonderland's complete tea party going on with the rabbit, the Mad Hatter, and all.
Yep.
And that is that in Central Park, Evan?
That's in Central Park. Yes.
Yeah. How crazy that somebody would want to blow that up.
Yep.
That's insanity.
Yep. A judge in Brazil was left red-faced after appearing topless during a court hearing live streamed on Zoom.
Now, this one was a judge?
A judge. Judge Carmo Antonio de Souza participated in a video call with 4 other judges from the state court in Amapa who were working from home last Tuesday. While the other judges were all dressed for work at the start of the session, Souza appeared in the video call shirtless and sipping a beverage in a clip obtained by the New York Post. Now, after realizing the chat was live, Souza walked away from the camera view and came back dressed in a shirt and a tie, the New York Post reported.
Well, at first she showed poor judgment.
Yes. Well, it was a he.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
he.
All right.
Yeah, it was a he.
Well, maybe he had man boobs.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm really not sure.
I just
guess-
that's not thinking properly.
I guess not.
So, for the first stimulus checks, they're out, and many Americans are taking to social media to brag about the assortment of purchases they've been making, many of which are not exactly paying rent and buying food, Bonnie. One of our fine citizens locally tweeted how he used the extra money to buy an inflatable dinosaur costume, arguing that the $35 getup was totally worth it. Another person locally tweeted, "I'm buying a stripper pole with my stimulus check."
Oh, wow.
We have to invest in our future. One hobbyist burning through their stimulus check indulged in paintball equipment, while another caved and bought a pricey pair of Yeezy shoes.
Yeezy shoes.
Yeezy shoes.
Wonder what the Yeezy shoes are.
These are shoes by Kanye West. They're Yeezys. They're very expensive.
Oh, I bet they are.
Yeah, they were. There was a pair that was given to my kid. He has a pair of these things.
Oh, yeah. Men Adidas Yeezy Boost is at $290 for a pair.
Yep.
Oh, $395
Yep.
for Adidas Yeezy Boost
They're not
350.
cheap.
They're not.
They're not cheap.
They're kind of a nice looking shoe, though. That's a shoe that I would wear, even though I swear by Nike.
At least one entire stimulus check and possibly cash along with it went towards buying a Bird One e-scooter, which retails for $1,300. Another woman has already spent her entire check on her electric bill, car payment, a credit card bill, with enough left over to buy tank tops and, get this, a bidet.
A bidet.
A bidet. Of all things,
Oh,
a
my.
bidet.
Yeah.
A bidet.
That's like a washer, like
Yeah.
a washer, and I don't know.
Washes your booty.
I don't know if it has a dryer on it, though.
A blow dryer on the bidet? Let me turn the bidet on. Okay, there we go.
Well, one would need. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. I've never used one before, but
I never have either. Don't have a need to.
I think they have them in France,
Yes.
and people stay generally clean there.
And there's the gun lover who wrote, "Looking forward to using my stimulus check to purchase another AR-15 with 30 RD mags."
Mhm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not your just basic.
These are people that are local here to this area
Yeah.
that are tweeting this in the local Martin St. Lucie County area.
Yeah, just amazing. And I just hope they're putting their bread and butter on the table and their food on the table for their
Yeah,
families.
instead of a stripper pole.
Well,
What's a stripper pole going to get you?
exercise.
That's about it. It's not going to put
Yeah.
food on your table.
Yeah, I've heard that some people would put them in their places for that extra bit of exercise and maybe
Extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
I don't know about exercise. Man. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ontario, where a 57-year-old guy in Mapleton, Ontario, Canada, called the police this past Saturday night to report that his friend had been hanging on his rear bumper and tried to stop him from driving.
Oh yeah.
When the cops got there, they found out why the friend was doing that. Well, the guy was drunk and his friend was desperately trying to keep him from driving while intoxicated. The guy was charged with impaired operation
Yeah.
and had his license suspended.
Oh wow. Yeah. What state was that, Evan?
That was in Ontario, Canada.
In Ontario,
Yes.
Canada, way up
Yes,
there,
way
in
up
in the north
Yes.
woods.
And as they say in Ontario,
A?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
And speaking of A, the A-graded news report. You like that segue?
Mhm.
The A-graded news report comes to us now from the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
And after another 54 deaths yesterday, the statewide coronavirus death toll is now at 668. The Department of Health reports more than 23,000 people are infected. To help Florida's overwhelmed unemployment compensation system, Governor Ron DeSantis is signing an executive order to suspend the need for people to return to the system every 2 weeks to recertify that they don't have a job.
If the system is suffering under too much stress, why would we want people to have to go on and recertify that? We know what the economy is doing right now.
Since the coronavirus started closing businesses around the state, payments have been made only to about 4% of the more than 800,000 people who have filed jobless claims. 2 Florida Democrats are selected to be on President Trump's coronavirus economic recovery panel. One of them is Orlando area Representative Stephanie Murphy, and the other is Congressman Ted Deutsch of Boca Raton. A new report doesn't give an official cause, but has a lot to say about the 2017 plane crash in the Gulf that killed a Hall of Fame pitcher.
CSB's report says Roy Halladay's autopsy showed a laundry list of drugs, including high levels of amphetamines and opioids. It says Halladay was doing high climbs and steep turns before his speed fell and his plane nosedived off Holiday in November 2017. The report says he posted on social media about flying under the Skyway Bridge, saying his Icon A5 aircraft flew like a fighter jet. I'm Gordon Bird.
Toxic blue-green algae has been reported at Port Mayaca in western Martin County along Lake Okeechobee. Our news partner, WPTV, spotted the algae Thursday near the C-44 canal in Martin County. Mike Connor, the Indian River keeper, first reported the algae. He's saying, quote, "I saw the photos that were taken, aerial photos by a resident in Martin County who does flyovers, and I wanted to see for myself. So I went out to the Mayaca recreation area," said Connor. When Connor arrived, he quickly saw the algae along the shore. Sure enough, it was pretty choked in there, pretty good with the cyanobacteria bloom. The lakeshore had a little bit too, but the holding area there had a pretty dense bloom. So I made a report to DEP algae dashboard. They went out about 4 days later and found it was toxic, said Connor. The toxicity level was 36 parts per billion of microcysteines in the sample taken from Lake O at Port Mayaca on April 6. Anything more than 8 parts per billion is considered too toxic to touch. St. Lucie Public Schools will hold virtual graduations in May to honor the class of 2020. School district officials announced on Thursday that graduates wearing caps and gowns can gather online with their family and friends for the ceremonies. The pre-recorded virtual graduations will include valedictorian and salutatorian speeches, digital slides honoring each graduate, and the traditional turn-year tassel moment. And here's a schedule of virtual graduations for St. Lucie County. On Tuesday, May 26th, the Treasure Coast High School having theirs at 1 in the afternoon. At 11 a.m., it's going to be the Fort Pierce Westwood Academy. St. Lucie West Centennial holding theirs at 9 a.m. And on Wednesday, May 27 at 9 in the morning, it's Lincoln Park Academy. At 11 a.m., it's the Fort Pierce Central High School. And finally, at 1 p.m., it's going to be Port St. Lucie High School. That's set for Wednesday, May 27th. Well, we've been without sports for a month now, and some fanatics are losing their minds, which isn't good. And since you know there's no clear return in sight, so someone sent out a tweet asking for the very specific things that people miss the most, and here's a few of the things that they're missing the most. One, including NBA players missing a free throw and then high-fiving all of their teammates. Another thing they're missing the most is football players a few feet from a pile who passionately signal that their team got possession of a loose ball with absolutely no evidence. News time is 7:49. Weather and traffic together next.
7:49, the time to Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, out for your morning drive this morning. It's a good one. We don't have any accidents, including US 1 and I-95. The Turnpike looking good right here. There's your latest look at traffic. Port St. Lucie, we have 73 and 74 in Stewart, cloudy skies. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog and a few showers are possible. Temperatures are cooler inland than along the coast. This afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible, and some rainfall could be heavy in spots. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s, mostly cloudy skies and breezy east-southeasterly winds.
You're listening to the biggest little radio show on the biggest little planet, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie.
Going to the grocery store these days in anguish? Well, say goodbye to those feelings of angst with the Grocery Suit 1000. Made from German pervious 18mm Kevlar reinforced stainless steel, this virus-proof bunker you can wear is guaranteed to put the joy back into shopping. Right down to the cool voice modulator built into the nose and mouth.
Excuse me, sir. Can you
tell me where I can find the mixed nuts. And when other shoppers hear you coming in those titanium enhanced boots, maintaining acceptable social distance will be easy peasy. The Grocery Suit 1000. Available at quality online retailers now. Order now and get a free 6-pack of toilet paper.
Can you imagine going to the grocery store and one of those things?
Oh, I can't even imagine it. It doesn't sound like you would be breathing too easily in one.
Right? Tell me about it.
Yeah. You know what I miss the most about shopping and things that are normal? I think I miss clothes shopping so much.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's getting to the point where I'm looking at the t-shirts in my closet, Evan, and a lot of them are getting older and worn out. And you know how I
you
love
can
to wear
still
my
clothes
tees
shop, Bonnie. There's nothing wrong with it. You can go online.
But I'm just the kind of gal that likes to be there, touch
Where do you
it,
like to shop at?
feel it, smelling it. I'm liking the coat store.
Oh, Burlington.
Yeah.
Burlington Factory.
Burlington.
Okay. All right.
I like Dee Dee's discounts.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
Okay. Burlington's a great store. You can shop online. I know you like to go, you like to touch it, you like to hold it, you like to feel it. But in these times, you can't do that. So you can always order it online. If it doesn't fit, they send a return label and you send it back.
But see, now that could get dangerous for me because if I get too good at it, heavy at it, I'm afraid, my fear is I'll get addicted to it and just be shopping all the time at home.
Just have Gary lock up the credit cards.
That's right. He'll have to put it in like one of those freezer bags, like they do it.
Okay.
I heard that's a way to lock up your credit card. Just put it on ice in your freezer.
Yeah, we just did a refinance at my home, and we paid off a lot of the wife's credit cards. They had a decent amount of balances.
Yeah.
It was worth what we did. So we were contemplating on cutting off the credit cards. We were contemplating on closing them. Then my son, who's a banker, made a very valid cards. You're going to hurt the credit report and your credit score.
That's what I've heard.
It's better to leave them open.
Yeah.
So what we did was we took the cards and we put them in the gun safe so they're not accessible.
Smart.
And they're locked away.
Yep.
And that's it. And that's where they're going to sit.
Yeah. I think I heard a fella that had a safe for sale on Cliff Desmond's swap shop program yesterday. That's another thing that a safe might be good for, locking up those credit.
Locking up your credit cards.
Yeah.
Don't give the combination to anybody so nobody can have access to it.
Oh, absolutely.
And away you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible. I remember those old high school locks we had for the lockers. You just
the combination.
Yeah,
you go right 33, left 27, right 19.
That's right.
But you'd have to go 3 turns to the right, then you go 2 turns to the left, and then 1 turn to the right.
Just think how many times a day you used to do that in high school, Evan, in between your classes.
They still have the combination locks.
Yeah.
They still have those things.
Yeah,
so
they
that
do.
is still possible. Now, a gun safe lock is a lot different because instead of going right, left, right, you start left and you just keep turning left a bunch of times. Then you stop at the first number. Then you go to the right, you go past the first number you stopped on, you stop on the second number, and then when you go back to the left, you stop at the third number and the safe should open.
Okay.
It only took me 27 tries until I got it right. It was very confusing.
Yeah, it's like it even locks out the lock keeper. It's so confusing.
It was. I literally had to call the safe company because my daughter gave us the gun safe for our weapons to keep in the house. And it was very confusing how to open this thing. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me.
Oh, you know what else is confusing? The things they gave on Christmas too this year. I know the stepkids got a few of them, the gift cards that are actually in a game that you have to play, and you have to win the game to break it open and get your gift card.
Okay.
So you have to use a little muscle might with your brain to get that open. Kind of a cool way, kind of a cool gift to give. And yeah.
All right. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, right after the news, Sheriff Ken Mascara from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office is going to be joining us on the program. We're going to get a state of the county address from him and find out what's going on in St. Lucie County. In the meantime, we're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. and then we'll have more of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie right after the news. Don't you dare touch that dial, because if you do touch the dial, then you're not going to be able to listen to the broadcast. So don't you dare go anywhere. We'll be right back after the news.
the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie, and it's a real treat to have this next gentleman on the phone with us. We've actually never had him on this the program before, and I ran into him a couple of months ago at Tim Tebow's Night to Shine, and I said, hey, I need to get you on the air with us so we can get an update on what's happening in St. Lucie County. Of course, we have Sheriff Willie Snyder on to give us a weekly update for Martin County, but of course, Sheriff Ken Mascara is joining us on our line right now. Good morning, Sheriff. How you doing?
Good morning to you and Bonnie and all your listeners. Doing well. How about you?
Man, it's so good to hear your voice. The last time you and I saw each other was at Tim Tebow's Night to Shine, and prior to that, we saw you at some spring training games out at Clover Park.
That is correct. And, you know, that Tim Tebow event is such a great event. We, not only myself, but my deputies look forward to that every year. It's just an amazing event for the young adults, special needs in our community.
I'll definitely tell you one thing. Your deputies, they definitely don't have two left feet. That's for sure.
Thank goodness.
I don't know if you caught any of them dancing out there with the kids, but I've got some video, and let me tell you, it's some incriminating video. But you know what? It's all about having fun with the kids.
That is the truth. That's what it's all about.
Hey, so what's going on in St. Lucie County these days with COVID-19, and you know, how are your deputies handling the situation both on the road, responding to calls in the jail, et cetera, so on and so forth?
Well, I would be remiss if I did not start out by thanking our community. We, in the face of this pandemic, we've had so many community members and businesses send thoughts and prayers and food and supplies to our office. It's really been overwhelming and very touching. And I just want to say thanks to all of them. Matter of fact, today we're having lunch delivered by a businesswoman in Port St. Lucie, bringing lunch to all of our staff at Midway Road as her way of saying thanks.
Oh, wow.
And this is a daily occurrence. It's either individuals or businesses that are doing this day in and day out. So thank you all. In regard to our deputies, we continue to respond to calls. Following the CDC's recommendations for interactions with people. We have had no deputies tested positive for COVID-19.
Love hearing that. Love hearing that.
Even though we have had some deputies that have fallen ill, it was due to other reasons, but not COVID-19. So we're very, very thankful. And we have one thing that has been challenging is getting them all the supplies in a timely manner. And those supplies being the face masks, the gloves, the PPEs, the disinfectant spray. We actually put a logistics team together within the office about 10 or 12 days ago, which their only job is to make sure these supplies continue to be available and shipped to us. And we seem to be on a good road right now, but in the beginning, we were challenged, but I can tell you we're in a better place now than we were 3 weeks ago, and I'm sure in a couple weeks we'll be in a better place than we are today.
Sheriff, how are you doing this morning?
How about yourself?
Oh, very good. Thank you. Do you see do you see the numbers for coronavirus out of St. Lucie County coming to any kind of a standstill or anything, or do they kind of wither up and down every day? What are you seeing there?
They are going up and down every day in regard to new cases, but our deaths have stabilized. We have experienced 8 deaths in St. Lucie County. That number is held pretty steady. And that's it. We're looking for that flattening that everyone is talking about. And that's what we're all anxious to see.
That's what we're waiting for, yes.
How are things going on in the jail as well? Because I know we have a conversation with Sheriff Snyder in Martin County, and we always discuss that. And I want to see, of course, I'm sure that you guys are taking the utmost care in the jail system also as well.
Correct. Our inmate population this morning, which I know for a fact is greater than Martin County's, but Our inmate population this morning was 1,159.
Okay.
That's probably about 150 below our average for the year. And that's because officers on the street are not taking everyone to jail that they could. They're using notices to appear and other avenues to pursue maybe an arrest down the road. But this morning, 11:59, we have no cases of COVID-19 in the jail with inmates. And we continue to be very, very regimented about cleaning and disinfecting our jail. And we're just lucky we don't have any cases. As new inmates come in, we've set in a policy that they go through a 14-day isolation quarantine. So we're trying to monitor new inmates, and then any inmates that show any signs of fever or flu-like symptoms are immediately quarantined in our medical unit. We have 2 reverse barometric cells. They're sent there, and they're monitored for the 14 days also.
I like the fact that your department is a little bit more lenient with the arrest situation, that you're giving a little bit more flexibility instead of just taking somebody right to jail.
Yes, not only my department, but right when this started, I sent letters to Port St. Lucie Police Department, Fort Pierce Police Department, and the Florida Highway Patrol leadership, and asked them to do their part in being a little bit more responsible on their arrests and not just bring in anybody they could to jail. There are other avenues that we can pursue rather than bringing people to jail, and it's really paid off. Our numbers have really come down.
Yeah, it's a lot easier too, probably. Just to give somebody an NTA, for folks that don't know what an NTA is, it's a notice to appear, and then they have to appear. And then if they don't appear, then unfortunately, then there's another course of action that has to be taken.
That is correct. So it's almost like getting a speeding ticket. The notice to appear has all your court information on there, the judge, the charge, and you arrive at court on that date and tell the judge what happened, tell your side of the story, and you go from there.
How are the domestic violence cases happening in St. Lucie County? Have you seen them up or down?
I'm glad you asked, because generally we've seen a downtick in crime except for domestic violence. Domestic violence incidents are going up, as well as assault and battery cases. 2 neighbors who never have been home together find themselves at home 24 hours a day. Before long, they argue over their garbage. Before long, they argue over their dog crossing each other's property line.
Stupid
and then
stuff.
They assault each other.
Oh my gosh!
So we're seeing spikes in both.
I love the fact that you're laughing with me. I really do.
Oh yeah.
This is great stuff.
Yeah,
this is a time where you'd want us all to be like working together.
Yeah.
But domestic violence and assault and batteries are definitely up.
Evan had a story on earlier, Sheriff, about a place in Maryland where police had to go out to a lot of scenes because people are going out to their mailboxes pantless.
Yeah, they're going out without their bottoms on in one police department up north.
I saw that story.
I could not believe what I was reading, and this is true stuff.
True stuff.
I
can't make.
Go ahead. What were you going to say? Yeah, you can't make this stuff up.
That's correct.
You just simply can't. Now, let me ask you a question. How do your deputies, when they go to a domestic violence call, how do they handle this? Because I'm sure that some of the calls they get, right, especially with all the stuff that's going on with COVID-19, some of these calls have to be pretty comical, and the deputy really has to hold in from laughing, probably.
Oh yeah, but anytime domestic violence is involved, we want to make sure that the parties are separated, that the victim is well cared for.
Right.
We are seeing that cases of assault and battery among what were friends, they both are declining to prosecute. Because
right.
I think after the law enforcement arrives, they realize how foolish this was.
Right.
But domestic violence cases, of course, are serious. We take it seriously, and that's the one uptick we are definitely seeing.
Yeah, you get two friends that just beat the snot out of each other. Then you guys show up, you guys play referee, and then they both look at each other. That was stupid. We just don't want to press charges, and it's over and done with.
Let's go have a beer.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned too, Sheriff, how like the businesses are really coming together, grouping together in Port St. Lucie and helping out. I think the best story, one of the best stories I saw was with Big Apple Pizza up in the Fort Pierce area again, and Van Duzer.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
They were delivering the pizzas even to elderly citizens in the nursing homes, and throwing them together a little package like they did. Especially
Slices for Seniors is the initiative put together by Scott Van Duzer, who is definitely someone very special in our community. And what it involves is bringing pizza to seniors. It also includes a T-shirt and then handwritten cards from students telling the seniors how much they're loved. And yeah, it's a pretty touching package that's delivered. And I know he's posting some of those encounters on Facebook. And if it doesn't bring a tear to your eye,
I know
nothing will.
I know. I know that I know our church over at Christ Fellowship. They're in the community constantly. I'm seeing videos. Yeah. Wow, they're like feeding the whole county, literally.
Christ Fellowship is really stepped up. The last time I heard, they're feeding like 4,000 or 5,000 families a week.
Yeah,
which is amazing. And just that's what we do when the tough. What is that? When the road gets tough, the tough get going.
Yeah,
and that's what we do as a community.
Are you getting phone calls in regards to people, seeing people that are violating the rules about being out in public? We heard from Sheriff Snyder. He was getting calls to their department. A lot of people were calling 911 reporting, hey, so-and-so is out and they shouldn't be out. Are you getting those kind of calls?
We are getting those kind of calls and calls about people who are not maintaining the social distancing guidelines. And I think the reason why we're getting those calls, most people are adhering to the guidelines, and they're stuck in the house, but yet they see a group of neighbors across the street that are having a block party, and they're all drinking and carrying on, and they get upset about that. Let me tell you, what are they going to do? They're going to call 911 and report them. Our mission when we receive those calls is not to go there and arrest everybody, but to go there and educate them and kind of encourage them to adhere to the guidelines, because we're all in this together, and we all have to adhere to these guidelines for us to beat this thing. So we just want to educate them.
Sheriff, I can't thank you enough. I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot on your plate each and every day with everything that's going on. I can't thank you enough on doing this, in short notice, like literally less than 12 hours notice. I shot you an email, and you were very humble enough to oblige us on the radio show. And, moving forward, I'd like to have you on maybe once a month to give an update on what's going on in St. Lucie County, if that's all right with you.
That is fine, Evan. Just shoot an email, and thanks for having me on. Together we'll get through this, and just take care of each other.
And as we tell everybody else in closing, we always say, wash your hands.
That's correct.
All right, Sheriff, thanks so much for joining us.
All right. God bless you all. Take care.
God bless you too. Thank you so much. 8:20 right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's news time once again. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And after another 54 deaths yesterday, the statewide coronavirus death toll is now at 668. The Department of Health reports more than 23,000 people are infected. And to help Florida's overwhelmed unemployment compensation system, Governor Ron DeSantis is signing an executive order to suspend the need for people to return to the system every 2 weeks to recertify that they don't have a job.
If the system is suffering under too much stress, why would we want people to have to go on and recertify that? We know what the economy is doing right now.
Since the coronavirus started closing businesses around the state, payments have been made to only about 4% of the more than 800,000 people who have filed jobless claims. 2 Florida Democrats are selected to be on President Trump's coronavirus economic recovery panel. One of them is Orlando area Representative Stephanie Murphy, and the other is Congressman Ted Deutsch of Boca Raton. A new report doesn't give an official cause, but has a lot to say about the 2017 plane crash in the Gulf that killed a Hall of Fame pitcher.
CSB's report says Roy Halladay's autopsy showed a laundry list of drugs, including high levels of amphetamines and opioids. It says Halladay was doing high climbs and steep turns before his speed fell and his plane nosedived off Holiday in November 2017. The report says he posted on social media about flying under the Skyway Bridge, saying his Icon A5 aircraft flew like a fighter jet. I'm Gordon Bird.
St. Lucie Public Schools will hold virtual graduations in May to honor the class of 2020. School district officials announced on Thursday that graduates wearing caps and gowns can gather online with their family and friends for the ceremonies. The pre-recorded virtual graduations will include valedictorian and salutatorian speeches, digital slides honoring each graduate, and the traditional turn your tassel moment. And some schedule of virtual graduations include Tuesday, May 26, 9 a.m., St. Lucie West Centennial will be held, 11 in the morning, Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, and at 1 in the afternoon, Treasure Coast High School. Then set for Wednesday, May 27, the graduation for Lincoln Park Academy will be at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. will be Fort Pierce Central High School, and Port St. Lucie High School will be at 1 p.m. Finally, air pollution has dropped by 30% in the big cities of the Northeast over the past few weeks as the coronavirus pandemic worsened and people stayed home, according to NASA satellite data. Cities such as Washington, Philadelphia, New York, and Boston have seen significant improvement in air quality, similar to the improvements in Italy and China during prior coronavirus lockdowns, according to AccuWeather. Well, 2 NFL players have the coronavirus. It's Denver Broncos defensive end Von Miller. He's expected to speak about it to the press today. And LA Rams center Brian Allen tested positive several weeks ago. Rams coach Steve McVay says Allen is on the road to recovery. Our news time is 8:24, and weather and traffic together are next.
$8:26 the time, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
In St. Lucie County right now, we do see an accident. This one is on I-95 southbound in Port St. Lucie. It's at Glades Cutoff Road, mile marker 124. Once again, southbound, and traffic is getting through. There's no roadblock. Here in Martin County, no accidents to report right now. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 74 right here in Stewart, a cloudy sky. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog and a few showers are possible. Temperatures are cooler inland than along the coast. This afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible, and some rainfall could be heavy in spots. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s, mostly cloudy skies, and breezy east-southeasterly winds.
Mornings are better with the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on WSTU.
8:30 the time right now, the Get Up and Go Show. It's time for our daily dose of space in another place, where Randy Siegel is standing by. Good morning to you, Randy.
And good morning to you, sir. Well, back in 1967, the Surveyor 3 spacecraft was launched by NASA headed for the moon. And that spacecraft made a beautiful landing on the moon, took a lot of pictures in situ. And interesting enough is that on the Apollo 12 mission, astronaut Alan Bean went and walked over to it and brought back a couple of its little pieces. Yep, over 2 years after it landed, NASA had another moon mission, and the astronauts were able to bring back a piece of that spacecraft to see what happens when you're on the moon for 2 years. Also on this date in history, the first X-24 lifting body had a glide flight, and Apollo 13 made its historic return to Earth, where all the astronauts were fine. During the weekend, we had the Lede spacecraft, which was intentionally crashed onto the moon at the end of its mission because they wanted to see what would happen for impact. On Sunday, the Russians in 1971 launched their first space station, Salyut 1. And then in 1982, they launched their seventh Salyut. So the Russians have a lot of spacecrafts going on at the time. Well, they're home. Yep. The astronauts from the International Space Station made a, if you'll pardon the expression, a pitch perfect landing back here on old Mother Earth. Everything was fine for the astronauts. The landing occurred on the steppes of Kazakhstan at 1:16 this morning. And then in a little bit different route, the astronauts then moved from the recovery quickly. They were jetted by 8 helicopters instead of the 12 that normally arrive because of the coronavirus. And the teams were rushed over to the Baikonur Cosmodrome, which is about 250 miles away. From there, they then had to go by land to an airport where they were able to fly home. So Sherpochka stayed in Moscow, and Mir and Morgan were escorted by flight surgeons, where they boarded a NASA jet and headed back to the United States. All of this a result of the coronavirus. It was really a very interesting scene as they landed, because all of the people that were there were wearing their masks. Nobody was without a mask in that area. You've got to remember, these astronauts are coming back from 6 months in orbit, and their resistance to a virus is very low. So NASA was taking every possible precaution, as was the Russian space agency, Roscosmos. While the astronauts were on the International Space Station, before they left, they had a discussion with Stephen Colbert during his show. Colbert, interesting enough, is the name of one of the bicycles that are on board the International Space Station. That was named after Stephen Colbert because of his interviews with astronauts in orbit. And it's called the Combined Operational Load-Bearing External Resistance Treadmill, or Colbert. And it's been in operation since 2009 and continues to be a mainstay on the station, with the astronauts getting a lot of exercise using that particular cycle. The ISS will have an orbital correction on April the 19th. This orbital correction is done in order to move the station into a better position to allow additional vehicles to come to the space station, as well as vehicles returning from the station. NASA's administrator, Jim Bridenstine, has said to the agency that they have to start planning for return to work. He reiterated the fact that they have not decided on when people will start to go back to work full-time at the various centers. But he said now is the time to start planning for it, that NASA has to be ready and the workforce has to be ready in order to go back when the decision is finally made to return. He said that everything is not going to be the same as it was. There will still be differences once they do get back. And he thanked all of the people for their extraordinary effort that they make every day to keep NASA's missions moving forward. And he ended it by saying, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep monitoring for information. Talking about that virus, the deputy CEO and chief designer of the Energia Space Rocket Corporation, Yevgeny Mekrin, has contracted the coronavirus. Merkin has tested twice, and they were both positive. He's been included in a list of 30 persons who have officially been declared as infected in Roscosmos. So to say the least, they're taking extra precautions. SpaceX is expected to fly a new spacecraft for Argentina and place that spacecraft into orbit around the Earth's poles, even though they're launching from Cape Canaveral. The last time they did this, or tried to do this, was in September 27th, 2000. and the rocket failed. And as a result, debris rained down on Cuba. The Cubans accused the United States of intentionally causing a problem and killing a cow. The U.S. had to make reparations for that cow. The hope is that they'll be able to have this spacecraft launched once they get FAA launch approval for the new satellite. SpaceX is also getting ready to complete the final stages of its fourth full-scale Starship prototype. They are saying that they are ready to test it with their Raptor engines, and they're getting ready to actually do a hop test. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they'll be able to do this in a few weeks and whether this vehicle will not blow up as previous ones have. SpaceX is also getting ready to test that rocket at the Cape, having a static firing take place for a few seconds on the launch pad. They tried to do it yesterday, and it appears that they were not able to do so because of the weather. The weather was quite windy and rainy, thus preventing the vehicle from being fueled and having that test conducted. Members of Congress have been raising issues even though they have not been in Congress. They won't return until May the 4th because of the coronavirus pandemic. However, they are taking sides as to whether or not they believe the U.S. should move forward with its programs with Russia. Also, the Global Positioning Satellite. They also are concerned about startup companies that are going bankrupt and preventing additional work being done for Richard Bloomstein, a Democrat from Connecticut. Marco Rubio is a Republican from here in Florida, have said that NASA development, including human land systems, to go to the moon. Well, NASA is on the verge of doing that as they have gotten ready. Those contracts are expected to be brought out by the end of this month, if everything remains as it is. Tomorrow, or Monday, we're going to talk to you about the Curiosity rover on Mars being worked on by computers here at Earth at home, and Japan getting ready to launch a new satellite. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
That's your daily dose of space from another place with Randy Siegel. He joins us each and every weekday at 8:30 to give us the latest and greatest of what's happening in the world of NASA. And from space to another place, we transition over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with some of the latest and greatest food to tempt and satisfy your palate.
You betcha, Evan, and the freshest food, too. Of course, you might want to enjoy an Ellie's Cobb salad made with a blend of the, most fresh mixed greens, of course, on a bed of lettuce, topped with some chopped chicken, bacon. You get tomato and cucumber on this one. 2 cheeses, including gorgonzola and cheddar, some avocado and sprouts, and served with a dressing of your choice. Of course, the croutons are homemade at Ellie's Deli. And, they have some of the richest, fluffiest potato salad that I've ever seen. You can get your delicious bacon Dijon potato salad and served with a huge sandwich, of course, maybe a fresh jumbo wrap of your choice today. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart is opened with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's is also making dinners with a full menu available for any number of guests you might have. And remember, they have their fabulous desserts as well. Give them a call at 772-781-6605 to order or pick up. They're at 18 Southeast 6th Street in downtown Stuart, just off Colorado. Call them at 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,701.90 an ounce, and silver will be opening up at $15.19 an ounce. 8:42 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news for the final time for this Friday. Let's go to the news desk, and Bonnie's standing by with the latest and greatest headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And after another 54 deaths yesterday, the statewide coronavirus death toll is now at 668. The Department of Health reports more than 23,000 people are infected. And to help Florida's overwhelmed unemployment compensation system, Governor Ron DeSantis is signing an executive order to suspend the need for people to return to the system every 2 weeks to recertify that they don't have a job.
If the system is suffering under too much stress, why would we want people to have to go on and recertify that? We know what the economy is doing right now.
Since the coronavirus started closing businesses around the state, payments have been made to only about 4% of the more than 800,000 people who have filed jobless claims. 2 Florida Democrats are selected to be on President Trump's coronavirus economic recovery panel. One of them is Orlando area Representative Stephanie Murphy, and the other is Congressman Ted Deutsch of Boca Raton. A new report doesn't give an official cause, but has a lot to say about the 2017 plane crash in the Gulf that killed a Hall of Fame pitcher.
CSB's report says Roy Halladay's autopsy showed a laundry list of drugs, including high levels of amphetamines and opioids. It says Halladay was doing high climbs and steep turns before his speed fell and his plane nosedived off Holiday in November 2017. The report says he posted on social media about flying under the Skyway Bridge, saying his Icon A5 aircraft flew like a fighter jet. I'm Gordon Bird.
Toxic blue-green algae has been reported at Port Mayaca in western Martin County along Lake Okeechobee. Our news partner, WPTV, spotted the algae Thursday near the C-44 canal in Martin County. Mike Connor, the Indian River keeper, first reported the algae. I saw the photos that were taken, aerial photos by a resident in Martin County who does flyovers, and I wanted to see for myself. So I went out to the Mayaca recreation area, said Connor. When Connor arrived, he quickly saw the algae along the shore. Sure enough, it was pretty choked in there, pretty good with the cyanobacteria bloom. The lakeshore had a little bit too, but the holding area there had a pretty dense bloom. So I made a report to DEP algae dashboard. They went out about 4 days later and found it was toxic, said Connor. The toxicity level was 36 parts per billion of microcystins in the sample taken from Lake O at Port Mayaca on April 6th, and anything more than 8 parts per billion is considered too toxic to touch. Finally, weeks ago, I'm looking for the story. Weeks ago, Dominique Pinelli of Vero Beach was doing it all. The single mother juggled caring for her 3-year-old daughter, waitressing at the Italian Grill in Vero Beach, pursuing a master's degree in social work online at Florida State University, and interning at Hibiscus Children's Center. On March 20th, when Governor Ron DeSantis ordered the closure of restaurants' dining rooms because of the unfurling new coronavirus, Pinelli lost her server shifts at the 58th Avenue Eatery. She immediately filed for unemployment. Nearly a month later, she has yet to receive a dime. There are people in other states that have gotten their unemployment, Pinelli said. Why is this happening to us down here? Pinelli is but a splash among the flood of local workers seeking unemployment compensation after losing jobs because of COVID-19. Countless Treasure Coast residents have expressed frustration and discouragement about the inability to check the status outlet on file of benefit claims. And we've been without sports for a month now, and some fanatics are losing their minds since there's no clear return in sight. So someone sent out a tweet asking for the very specific things people miss about sports. The more specific, the better, including some of the most specific things is when a baseball player fouls one straight back and then hits the bat with his hand in frustration, and the announcer says, "Oh, he just missed that one." Also, people missing when the bird noises that they pipe into the Masters coverage. And one of the most missing things from sports is the way quarterbacks angrily unsnap their chin straps after throwing an interception. News time is 8:47, and weather and traffic together are next.
8:48 the time to Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
In St. Lucie County, there's an accident on I-95 southbound. This one is at Glades Cutoff Road, mile marker 124. It is southbound, and there's not any slowdown in that area. Traffic is getting through right there. Martin County, no accidents to report. And there's your latest look at traffic. It's 74. It's a cloudy sky here in Stewart. Here's our weekend update at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog and a few showers are possible. Temperatures are cooler inland than along the coast. This afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible, and some rainfall could be heavy in spots. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s, mostly cloudy skies, and breezy east-southeasterly winds.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
The United States Treasury proudly presents the Donald J. Trump Commemorative Coronavirus Check. Each check is emblazoned with Donald Trump's actual signature and features a dramatic image of the president punching the virus in the face. Each check is lovingly dated April 1st. In memory of the date, the president assured us this crisis would miraculously go away. So commemorate everything the president didn't do. Order your coronavirus check signed by Donald Trump today. Please allow 8 to 10 weeks for delivery or longer if his hand cramps up.
Now, remember the other day I was talking about the whole coronavirus thing with Donald Trump and when he gave his speech from the Rose Garden 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah,
and
right.
I was really appalled by the answer he gave to the reporter. I found that audio. Okay, so here's the reporter asking the question about the check. And then here's the president's answer.
Mr. President, why did you have your name added to these coronavirus relief checks?
Well, I don't know too much about it, but I understand my name is there. I don't know where they're going, how they're going. I do understand it's not delaying anything, and I'm satisfied with that. I don't imagine it's a big deal. I'm sure people will be very happy to get a big, fat, beautiful check, and my name is on it.
I mean, what kind of an answer is that?
You know,
I'm sorry,
You know
but
what? Actually, I'm okay with it.
I would disagree.
Okay with it. I was just, happy to check in my bank account this week to, let me get by.
I mean,
I'm okay.
Opinion. This is just me.
Yeah.
I mean, he says that he's happy that people gets a check with his likeness on it, and he can't even answer the reporter's question as far as, where the check, he doesn't even know how checks are getting or this. If you listen to that, he doesn't know that much.
Can you play it once again?
I deleted. I was so aggravated.
I don't know. I didn't hear him. I didn't hear a tone in his voice there where he wasn't humble. I don't really think he tried to avoid the question.
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can play it again. Here.
Why did you have your name added to these
Listen to what he says.
relief checks?
Well, I don't know too much about it, but I understand my name is there. I don't know where they're going, how they're going. I do understand it's not delaying anything, and I'm satisfied with that. I don't imagine it's a big deal. I'm sure people will be very happy to get a big, fat, beautiful check, and my name is on it.
A big, fat, beautiful check, and his name is on it.
Well, yeah, he's the president, and I thought he was okay right there. I thought he was full enough. People should really just be thankful that they did receive a check. That, in my humble opinion,
I agree. I mean, yes, it's nice, but it just seems like he really didn't know that much about it.
And I think, Evan, too, meaning he didn't know where they're going. There are just so many different departments, that, might be involved in the sending and the handing out of these checks and going to numerous people. It's like the president can only have his hands on so much, where there are a number of organizers and people under him handling this too. It was humble enough for me, but that's all right.
All right. As long as you are okay with it, you know. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's aggravating. It's aggravating.
Okay.
I didn't like that.
I'm
entitled to my opinion.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth, right there. Yeah. So, are we ready for the weekend?
Yeah, kind of like the song by Loverboy, Everybody's Working for the Weekend.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm definitely there.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not going to be doing a whole heck of a lot.
You mentioned earlier, Evan, we were mentioning about those crazy things that people are going out and buying with their stimulus checks. And according to this, is more people are buying houseplants like crazy.
Really?
But will they keep them alive? I mean, I guess people are just going out home, so they think they want a dog, they want a cat.
Okay.
And I guess why? Maybe we need something to take care of right now, or we've realized our Zoom backgrounds are just really boring. But people are kind of getting the green thumb and trying to take care of more houseplants.
Houseplants.
Yeah. My mom used to have so many of them that as a kid, I would just enjoy watering each and every one every morning to, kind of feel like I was doing something positive and helping out my mom.
Okay.
So, good for adding some good oxygen air to your living room.
Wow. Okay.
I still have that one from Pittsburgh Deb, the plant that she gave me. It's budding outside. It has really pretty yellow flowers. It has the red ones, believe red and yellow. And let's see, there was a third color in there too. It's maybe a white color.
Okay.
Blooming with that plant. I've been watering it every day. It's been outside getting sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
So if Deb is listening, yes, her plant is faring well.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. So what's on the docket for you this weekend?
What can I say? Probably watch more movies. you know?
Okay.
With kids involved. Let's see, in the last 2 days, recommended movies, there's one called Home, which, of course, that one came out like some 7 years ago.
Okay.
But I like to watch it with the kids because of the soundtrack. I really loving it. It's set to the music from Rihanna. That's actually a pretty good movie. And
Jumanji. Yeah, Jumanji's good.
Yeah, that has been number one. And let me see, Jumanji, The Next Level.
Okay.
Has been a very popular one.
All right.
Been
Hey,
watching.
do you mind if I bring somebody in the conversation just for a minute, just to make sure that everything's working all right? Because
Love to.
Priest and a Rabbi have a show coming up here very shortly. And let's see if Father Christian is on the line with us. Father Christian, you there?
Well, what's happening, man? Good morning.
There he is. And the Rabbi is there also. Rabbi Durbin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Wow, there they are through the world of technology. They're not even sitting here, but yet it sounds like they're sitting right with us here in studio. This is amazing.
I know. I heard their guest with them too last week, and the guest sounded just like she was right here in the studio.
It was great. It was great. So a little tease for what's coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Can you give us in like 30 seconds a little tease about what the show's going to be about, Father Christian?
Yeah, we've been exploring the benefits of using delivery pizza over frozen pizza from Publix, and where do we find the sacred and the divine in the various forms of consuming pizza.
That's crazy because we ordered actually from a pizza delivery the other day at our home, and it was very cool how they did it. They rang the doorbell. They took the pizza out of the box, put it on top of the warmer that they carry it. They stepped back 6 feet. We grabbed the box, and then when we went back inside, they got the warmer and they left.
That didn't happen last night. We ordered from Nancy's, and this guy showed up with no mask, gave us a thing, and almost sneezed on us.
Oh.
So there
Are
go.
you serious? Really?
Not to throw Nancy's under the bus. I mean, I really, really like them. They're awesome, and they actually give our youth groups.
Okay, but you kind of did.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
threw
You
them
kind
under
of
the bus,
just
but-
threw them under the bus. Wow.
Well, it's up to me to have the mask on, though. So I had the mask. You're supposed to take the pizza out of the box and not like touch the box. I don't know, man. At the end of the day,
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. All right, but make sure and listen into Priest and a Rabbi. That's going to be coming up in the next hour. That's about a wrap for us, Bonnie. We're out of here. We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. And as always, we say ciao, Maine.
Honduras.
And Arriva Dirty. And in the words of Ellen DeGeneres,
Be kind to everybody this weekend.
that's right. Be kind to one another, folks. Have a great weekend. TGIF. Priest and a Rabbi coming up next right here. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.